Welcome, observer trapped in the void, to this explainer. I speak to you today as the uncanny jester, stepping into a completely nameless kingdom to perform what you might call a grim academic dissection. We're going to look at the structural rot hidden all around us. Actually, think of this as an ontological audit of this entire concept we call civilization.
So I want to challenge you right out of the gate here. Take a hard look past the painted surface of your consensus reality. Is the world you inhabit actually stable? Or is the entire infrastructure of your daily life, just decaying old wood that is completely reliant on fresh paint and shared expectations to keep it standing? You see, we inhabit what's known as a semantic architecture. Think of it the way a critical sociologist would, like a kingdom that possesses absolutely no physical walls and no actual kings. It relies entirely on invisible agreements to maintain this massive performative reality. Status, morality, decency, these are merely lexical veils. They're just words masking an absolute ontological void, this deep, fundamental emptiness at the very core of existence.
Let's move into part 1, the Hollow Edifice. Civilization's clothing.
Look at the divide we've got before us. On one side, there's the painted surface, literally civilization's clothing, the fresh, glossy paint of societal legitimacy. But dig beneath that, and we find the structural rot. As the jester, I can tell you that the foundation of power in this kingdom, it's not some immutable divine right. No way. It rests upon a heavy stone of truth that the citizens have collectively just agreed to drop. They actively ignore the rot because they desperately need to keep those painted heights aloft.
To expose all of this, the jester kicks off the Manifesto of the Three Dances. This is a triadic ritual playing out across 3 dark nights, and it's designed to systematically strip away the kingdom's false syntax. We are going to test the bereaved, then the elite, and finally the marketplace. That brings us to part 2, night 1, performative sorrow, the mechanical liturgy of loss.
Think about it. When the bereaved stand at the grave, that pretense of sorrow serves as nothing more than a phonological script. It's just meaningless sounds performed for digital spectators who demand the signifier of decency. The invisible agreements of morality dictate the exactly right moment to weep, but the collective soul, it remains a complete etymological void. The signifier has literally devoured the signified substance of actual, genuine grief. And this is exactly where the jester intervenes. By weaponizing laughter, by laughing in the exact spot where the kingdom comes to grieve, he shatters this sown faith entirely. It's a jarring, visceral hit. It fractures the invisible agreements of morality, translating that mechanical liturgy of loss into a sudden, sharp breath of realization. Boom! The hollow performance is totally unmasked. Let's shift to part 3, night 2, gilded parasites, the lexical veil. Now, it's absolutely fascinating to watch how this deception scales up among the gilded few. Their semantic architecture is immaculate, right? Its ambition meticulously dressed in silk. But status here is, again, a signifier without a substantive signified. Their so-called nobility is merely a mask for a deeper parasite. So the jester sits among the elite, and he mirrors their noble shelves so perfectly, so accurately, that the invisible agreements holding up their legitimacy actually begin to lean under the sheer weight of his genuine presence. It proves that the mechanical performance of order in these upper echelons hides absolutely nothing but an etymological void. The silk of the elite is unmasked as just civilization's clothing. Scratch beneath the fresh paint of their status, and there is nothing genuine, nothing intact whatsoever. Moving right along to part 4, night 3, market voids, the liturgy of the transaction. In the marble halls of the marketplace, the very concept of sanity gets completely redefined. Here, sanity is simply a quietude. It's a hollow sham designed specifically for the consumption of totally unnecessary goods. It perfectly replaces deep, teleological questions of ultimate purpose with something much simpler, the liturgy of the transaction. The crowd buys, they dine, they consume, all to desperately ignore the terrifying void that their purchases are specifically meant to fill. To expose this fragile skin, the jester walks in and shouts the forbidden questions that commerce has so desperately replaced, and this forces a fatal confrontation with the painted heights of consumerism. This ritualistic disruption proves once and for all that the very streets of the marketplace are paved with shared expectations rather than substantive stone. The structural rot is everywhere. Which leads us to part 5, the anatomy of silence, semantic paralysis. Now watch the immediate aftermath, because this is where the kingdom's structural rot gives way to complete semantic paralysis. The mechanical performance of order can no longer categorize the truth of what just happened. The king, he falls into a prolonged stunned silence. The high minister attempts this desperate liturgy of the mechanical. He's obsessively, repetitively straightening his cuff, trying to reestablish invisible agreements that have already dissolved into an ontological void. But the Lord Chamberlain, he's the one to watch. He experiences a total internal collapse. Staring blankly into the middle distance, he performs an ocular confession, looking directly into the exact space where authority once resided, only to find it filled by nothing at all.
The signifier of sanity has finally collapsed under the documented weight of its own hollowness. Those invisible agreements, they've dissolved completely. The entire kingdom is abruptly, forcefully unmasked for what it truly is, a joke half told.
And finally, part 6, trapped in the joke, the uncanny witness.
Because now, I'm turning the critical gaze directly onto you, the uncanny witness. You see, you are now claimed by the very void you probably thought you were just casually watching. The jester's weaponized smile reflects the parasite behind your own noble shelves. The most dangerous jester is for sure not a bringer of amusement. No, the most dangerous jester is the one who forces you to realize you have been the subject of your own mocking laughter this entire time. Every single throne you sit on rests upon suppressed truths.
So I have to leave you with this final, chilling thought. Now that the fresh paint has been completely stripped away, and your semantic architecture lies in absolute ruins, what comes next? Will you confront the heavy stone of truth that you have willingly dropped? Will you finally hold your certain breath? Or will you just close your eyes, straighten your cuffs, and continue to inhabit a joke half told?